What's going on, guys? Yo, welcome back to the channel. Y'all know who it is. It's Wilson Locks. Yo, and today we're going to go ahead and get into a haircut tutorial. As you can see, my hair is looking a little raggedy. I just came home from work and I'm long overdue for a cut. And I figured why not just go ahead and show you guys my process. So yeah, man, you guys just tune in and hopefully you can learn something from this. Now, keep in mind, I am no professional. I learned a lot of this off of YouTube, and I just kind of added my own sauce to it. So hopefully you can pick something up from it. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. So before we get started with the tutorials, a couple of things you're going to need. One being a clipper of your choice. They don't got to be the most expensive. I'm rocking the Oster Fast Feed, but you know, any clipper will do. So next we got an outliner or an edger, whatever you want to call it. I prefer the Andes T outliner because those joints hit. Next up we got a good hairspray. It's not really needed, but I prefer to use it when you're ready to edge your hair up so it can lay those hairs down. Next up is a hair tie. You want to use this to go ahead and tie your hair back so you're not cutting any of your dreads off. It's very important you don't do that, of course, but yeah, you're going to need one of these for sure. Next up is a good brush, man. You want to make sure you lay those hairs down, especially when you're lining yourself up, so a good brush is essential. Next up is guards, man. This is probably the most important part of the cut. You want to make sure you're not cutting into your hair, and you want to make sure you got the right size guard on there, so these are really essential. So one thing that was really difficult for me to learn when I was first starting to cut my hair was about opening and closing your lever on your clippers. As you can see, I just opened the lever. That's pretty much cutting away from your scalp. And when you close the guard, which I just did, that's cutting very close to your scalp. So you want to make sure that you know the difference between open and close, because that can really mess up a cut. So you want to be very careful with that. So right here I'm going ahead and putting on the hair tie. Man, I got a lot of these things laying around, and they're very essential, especially when you're cutting your hair. You want to make sure you pull those hairs back as much as possible so you're not cutting any of your dreads off. You also want to pull your hair back on the sides where you're going to be doing the taper, so you don't cut any of your dreads off on the sides as well. So as you can see, I got a real clean slate for myself, so I know exactly where I'm cutting and where I shouldn't be cutting. So yeah, if you guys don't have any of these, make sure you pick some of these up. Alright, so right here, as you can see, I'm brushing my hair down. This is just a good process to do before you start, cutting any of your hair. You want to make sure you brush those hairs down, get them all laid down as much as possible so you can get a nice even cut. Right here I'm just showing you guys that I'm putting a one guard on. I like to start my tapers off with a one guard close, and that's how I even my hair out on my hairline as well as both sides of my temple for my my temp fade. So I'm just cutting the hairs down now to a nice even blend, and this is pretty much where I'm going to fade into. So you always want to fade up, in your final guard or your highest guard is where you want to fade up into. So I'm going to be fading up into a one closed. Alright, so right here I'm just knocking the hairs down on the front of my hairline. This is very essential when it comes to lining your hair up, because at the end of the day, the lower your hair, the easier it is to make your hairline pop. You want to make sure you get that hair as close as you can to your scalp, because it just really makes your hairline pop. So yeah, man, just continue around your head and knock those hairs down. Alright, so I'm just pretty much repeating the same process as the other side. So you want to make sure you get every part of your taper even. So I'm just pretty much cutting those hairs down the same as I did on the other side. So follow the same steps. Right here, as you can see, I'm going to be going ahead and doing my first guideline, and I use my edgers for that because they get the closest to your scalp. So yeah, man, when you first start your guideline, you want to make sure you're using your edger. You can also use your clipper if you want to, but just keep in mind that it won't get as close as the edger will. So for our next guideline, we're going to go ahead and open that lever all the way. Just think of your edger as being closed, and the clipper is going to be open for your next guideline. So as you guys read, man, I lost a lot of my footage. I was really bummed about that. But the good thing is that I still got the other side as far as the taper process goes. So I'm going to be showing you guys how I taper still. And we're just going kind of back into the same process as we were in before. Just opening that lever up so we can go ahead and make our second guideline, all right? So right here I'm about to adjust my lever a bit. We don't want to have it closed, we want to go halfway, and that's where we're going to knock out that line that we made on our first guideline. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and knock that down, and as you're going to see throughout the process, I'm going to be adjusting my levers. To be honest with you, this takes a lot of practice. This is one thing that I had to learn the hard way by messing my hair up a lot. But you know, that's part of the process of learning, man. You're going to mess up sometimes, but that's how you get to greatness. Alright, so right here we're going to start on our next guideline, and it's going to be with a 0 guard open all the way. Now, one tip that I can give you guys if you're starting out is if you're ever in doubt, just go with the highest guard and open it up all the way and work your way down so you're not cutting into your fade and messing it up. So just work your way down from the highest guard and just come down to your lowest guard, and that way you can clean that fade up a bit without ruining your hair. So this is what I mean when I say it takes a lot of practice with your lever, man. As you can see, my hair is like weird. It kind of curls up, so it makes it really hard to get that dark spot out. So I had to really learn how to work my levers, and as you can see, I'm still working the lever trying to get that dark spot out. It's not the easiest thing to do, but it is possible with practice, man. So I'd say, you know, if you're going to practice anything with cutting your hair, make sure you learn those levers. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's still a very dark spot there, and I'm just kind of going through guards right now trying to knock that line out. I promise you guys it will come out if you just take your time with it, and yeah, man, just take your time, and eventually you'll get that line out. So that's what I'm doing here, and you'll see it come out. So the struggle is real with this dark spot. Like, I'm just going back and forth with these levers and just trying to knock it out. But like I said, you know, sometimes you got to be a little patient and just, you know, keep working at it, and eventually it'll come out. So just take your time, guys, and I promise you it will come out. As you can see, I'm still working on this dark spot here. Man, I ain't gonna lie to you guys, it was getting late. My wife was just getting done with dinner and I was hungry. So this is pretty much where I decided to leave it at. I was pretty much satisfied. So now the taper's complete, and we're going to go ahead and spray on the holding spray and get ready for the lineup.
Bruh.
Hey man, don't laugh at me. Obviously I don't know how to use a button, but as you can see, I'm spraying the hairspray on now and getting ready for the lineup. Always remember to brush those hairs down while the hairspray is drying, guys. Alright guys, so always remember, when you're lining the front of your head, always start from the middle and go to the outside. So you want to start from the middle and go to the left, and then start from the middle and go to the right. So unfortunately guys, my hairline process was part of the footage getting lost, so I still had a little bit salvaged, so you can kind of see how I'm lining up the sides as well as the tapered side. But I didn't capture the front, the middle and the outside, so I do apologize for that. But just stay tuned guys, and it will be a part 2 coming, alright? So while I was edging my hair up, I did notice that there were some bulky spots that I wanted to get out. So yeah, that's just part of me being a perfectionist. But yeah man, it's the same process, just working the levers and getting that bulky spot out. I was going to leave this footage out of me, just cleaning my face up. But I figured since we already lost some footage, I might as well go ahead and throw this in as a bonus. So yeah, man, you guys just enjoy. Alright guys, so we're pretty much at the end of the cut. I'm really happy with the way it turned out, man. I'm really ready to hit the club up, you know what I'm saying? Nah, but all jokes aside, I'm really feeling presentable. I feel like I can go to work and, not look like a scrub anymore. And, this is part of the reward of cutting your own hair, man. At the end of the day, taking your time and grooming yourself is very important. So as always, thank you guys for tuning in and rocking with me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I release a new video. Man, I love you guys. Y'all take it easy and be safe out there. Peace.